first story, we saw a young kid who, against all odds, persevered and kept true to his dreams and was still standing at the end.
It was a rags to riches tale about, a young Mexican kid. Well, our Mexican kid is now a rock star at Real Madrid.
The first movie, you root for the character. I was like, wow, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to tear the character apart and make him suffer and put temptation in front of him and give him a lot of money and see how he deals with fame and that situation.
It's how these footballers really live, and we're gonna show the world how they live through our film.
I think that I always wanted to do a football movie. I've been a football fan since I can remember. I've been a film fan since I can remember, so why not put both of my passions together?
Action.
As an actor, it's been pretty interesting. My challenge is to make him evolve. Even from the first one to the second one, he's a completely different guy.
Action.
Tequila, por favor.
I think that he wanted to be a brat and to enjoy in the excess of the fame and all of that. So we started with visually shaving his head. The moment that you shave his head and you put a diamond stud in his ear, then he's a player.
Mejor.
To see somebody that comes from being a gardener in East Los Angeles to making all this money and to have a Lamborghini and a mansion and all these women wanting to be with him.
And he's gonna go a little bit crazy.
We wanted somebody that was young and exuberant to be able to capture and communicate. That whole smorgasbord of temptation, that manifests itself. Jarmusch was, without a shadow of a doubt, the best man for the job.
Go back, Gary.
Jarmusch is one of the most exciting directors of his generation. We went to see House of Wax. He told a great story in a very dynamic, sort of exciting, almost music video way, but with the integrity of a feature film. And Danny and I just looked at each other and went, let's have some of that.
Cut. Muy bien.
When they step into the pitch, they need to forget about all of the temptation and they need to perform because they have millions of people following them. And they cannot be thinking about their girlfriend or their mother or their problems. They need to be focused on the ball. That's the stuff that we really wanted to explore in this movie. I was given all of the access to the players as long as it didn't interfere with the football.
Vamos rápido. Action.
It revs everybody up a lot because they see a superstar like David Beckham out here. This is already a pretty big production as it is, but he's one of the best footballers in the world.
It's still nerve-wracking being part of, a big film like this because I'm not an actor. I was so nervous. I think I was shaking.
My whole interaction with the club in this movie was much more involved than it was in the first film, just because we joined them on the pre-season and they, knew that we'd already made a film. They'd seen it.
Real Madrid was very helpful. They did as much as they could. I always want more, I want to have all of the players all the time at my disposal because I'm used to that. I'm a director. I'm used to having my actors with their lines on my set, but these are not my actors. The Bernabeu is not my stage. It's their cathedral. That's where miracles happen.
We're in a cathedral of football in Real Madrid. The access that we've gotten here is absolutely awesome. Action! We took a camera in Real Madrid's locker room where there's never, ever been a camera before.
So, here we are. We've made it to the Champions League final.
I got my locker there, and Alessandro got his locker. Just to be shooting there at the locker rooms is just amazing.
They're just playing like kids. See how long are they going to be able to keep the ball up without touching the ground, and it never touches the ground. You can really feel the talent and that you're in the presence of football history and football greatness.
It's just been awesome to go inside there and see their faces before the guys go onto the field. and it's all real stuff before the real match.
There are a lot of football legends out there watching you tonight.
The dressing room is a big part of, Real Madrid, a big part of their history. There's not many people and not many things allowed to go on in there, like photographs, filming. So you're lucky to have that. It's a big thing.
I don't want you to forget why you're here, and I want you to play as if you have nothing to lose.
We were hoping that the players wouldn't look into the lens. And with the real coach, really worried that they would trip over the tripod and it would injure the players before the game.
Finally, Paris.
Running into the pitch with all these great footballers, it's emotional. Something happens inside, it's you feel like a god.
Should be wide, and over the center spot. No, not over the center. It should be back, but really wide.
What we did was we took real games. So Real Madrid playing Arsenal, for example.
The Sean should turn now. Yeah, Sean is turning.
As far as the logistics, I have a little setup in a tunnel with monitors and a radio to all the operators, and I just watch what they do and try to read the game and see what's gonna happen.
I tell Chas to give me a close-up on Marquez, number 4. Okay.
Depending on the game, I will be allowed more or less cameras. On a big game like a Madrid-Barcelona game, there's like a million cameras, so everybody's fighting for a camera position. Usually on average, I probably have 6 or 7 cameras on a game. They're all film cameras, which means that I can only shoot for about 6 minutes in slow motion before I have to reload, which will take a couple of minutes. If you're reloading while they score a goal, you've missed it. You never know what's gonna happen, and you wanna capture everything. You're screaming to the operators to turn around, get the people, come back, get the ball, pray that it's in focus. You're just overwhelmed.
And then we got access and the Bernabeu to put cameras on the pitch. And we brought our actors back, and we brought real players back as well. And then recreated the games.
Go Santiago.
It's very interesting, the dynamic. The actors are trying to be footballers, and the footballers are trying to be actors.
Okay. Because you should stand up on his own.
And then we took that real game footage, we morphed the two. So you see Alessandro Nivola, who's our actor, and then he passes it to David Beckham, and then he'll pass it to Kuno Becker, who's our actor. So on the recreations, we'd obviously get the action exactly how we wanted it, and it would look fantastic. But there was one thing left, and that would be the empty stadium where we did the recreation versus the full stadium where we did the actual shot. The final step in the process is to fill in the stadium with CGI and visual effects. There's many situations where you're almost acting with a green screen, but there's no green screen. So, for example, when Ricker is coaching and he's, making gestures to the bench and there's no one on the bench, and we came back and filled in the bench with real players. It was freezing cold in Norway the night of the actual game. And then when we recreated that game, we had to recreate the snow, and we had to recreate that miserable night. But it really looks seamless when you put the two together. The dolly track is key to getting the shot that Jaume set up, but when you're recreating it, you want that crane out of there. So we simply wipe that stuff out.
People have never seen a movie where you put an actor in a real team and you make it look like he's playing in a real game that actually happened, and the game advances the story and you have feelings for this character. You've never seen a movie about basketball where Larry Bird passes to Kevin Costner. So it's part documentary, it's part film, it's drama. And I think that you've never seen that before.
Most films, you can set a schedule, stick to the schedule, and everything's fine. But for this film, you just don't know what's going to happen in a real game. And it's very spontaneous. So that has been challenging, but it's also been rewarding. If somebody gets red carded, they're not going to be in the next game. The script's got to change.
Am I going to have, Beckham goal out of a free kick like the script says, or am I gonna have a penalty 1 minute to go in favor of Arsenal like the script says?
That would be great. It's great. Okay. Widen that behind the goal.
We tried to approach this in a different way. We wanted to make it more stylish, more fun. The games are all cut to music. I gave the operators the freedom to change speeds at will, so they go from 24 frames to 96 frames per second. And we use those changes of speed in the cut, and it goes really well with the music.
We're making Goal 2 here, and we're in pre-production on Goal 3. So it's absolutely crazy, but the World Cup is the final destination. I mean, we're gonna be on the world's biggest stage, and we're gonna be on the pitch like this at the World Cup. All the same faces. You'll see Beckham in movie 3. You'll see Kuno, of course, in movie 3. You'll see Alessandro in movie 3. They're all coming back, and we're gonna be showing some of the incredible color of the World Cup, which is great.
I know it's really achieving the dream. It's the World Cup. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Countries playing each other. It's going to be amazing.
It's the biggest football competition in the world, of course. It's an amazing experience going into a World Cup. It's hard to explain the actual feeling of walking out onto the pitch and knowing you're playing on a world stage.